Forget all the troubles and blues. Dive into the blue. Oh yes, talk to the fish.
Hello, depth dippers, and welcome to Talk to the Fish, the only show where we school you in diving without getting your fins wet. Because let's face it, we all have something to learn about diving, even yours truly, who still confuses his right fin from his left. I'm your host, Jack. Why so dressed up, you ask? Well, it's not Friday night yet, but hey, a clownfish likes to keep it classy. Today, let's welcome our dive instructor, Regis.
Thanks, Jack.
Looking sharp today, pun intended. But then again, with your sleek style, every day must be a runway show, right?
Coming from someone who considers a sea anemone a luxury apartment, I'll take that as a compliment.
You should. Regis, we have this question from the viewer, Lily Lobster. Should I make a quarter turn on my tank valve? My buddies and I disagree about it. Well, nothing gets divers more excited than tank valves, except maybe suggestions to add raisins in a perfectly good brownie.
You're joking, but I really like this question.
So Regis, what's the real deal with this quarter turn business? I've heard so many opinions. I'm starting to swim in circles.
Well, Jack, here's the truth. While turning back the valve a quarter turn after opening was one standard protocol, modern diving has moved on from this practice. In fact, it could create more risks than benefits.
Hold your horses. Or should I say, hold your tuna. Where did this practice even come from?
It's quite the historical tale. I mean tale. Back when tank valves were built differently, they could suffer damage from excessive tightening. Older valves weren't made with as much precision as modern ones.
Yeah, they were as precise as a butter knife in a brain surgery.
This means they might fit more tightly and could cause problems as they wear out over time. So divers would ease off that quarter turn, thinking it would protect the valve mechanism.
Okay, and I'm guessing there's more to this fishy story.
Indeed. Another common belief was that fully open valves might get stuck. It's not ideal when you need to change tanks.
You're right.
Older metal combination made the metal-to-metal contact between valves and regulators a possible problem. It could create bonding under pressure and temperature changes, a phenomenon called cold welding.
Whoa! That's more science than my brain can process. I still struggle with the concept of waterproof water.
Keep up, Jack. I believe in you. So divers thought that slide back turn would prevent this lock.
Many valid reasons here.
But modern equipment has evolved beyond these old concerns.
So we're talking about solutions to problems that don't exist anymore? So why should we not do this quarter turn tango anymore?
3 crucial reasons, Jack. First, modern valves are built tough. They handle full opening without flinching. We've come a long way from the fragile equipment of the past.
Almost as tough as you pretend to be during safety stops.
Who needs GPS to find his own anemone? Not me. But back to our topic, the real danger lurks in confusion. Divers can't always tell if their valve is fully open or not.
Talk about confusion. Sounds scarier than trying to read my compass through my bifocals at 30 meters.
And here's the final kicker. That quarter turn habit creates a false sense of security. Divers might skip their proper valve check, thinking, oh, somebody did a quarter turn thing, I'm good to go.
So it's not just an outdated practice. It could actually make diving more dangerous?
Absolutely. And here's another scary thought.
Scary thought? Like, what if the divers are doing a full-scale attack on the cookie buffet without you?
True, but more importantly, many divers don't even stick to a quarter turn. With the force of habit, some go for a half turn or more, essentially diving with a half-closed tank. That's asking for trouble, especially when depth increases pressure demand.
So, Regis, I understand we should forget this practice. What's the modern way to handle those tank valves?
Listen up, divers. Number 1, open that valve all the way up, but don't muscle it at the end. Give the hand wheel a bit of looseness.
Sounds simple enough. But how can divers be totally sure they've got it right? Even fish double-check their scales.
Nice. Straight to the point, Jack. Yes, double check everything. Take a few breaths through your regulator while eyeballing that pressure gauge. If the needle stays as steady compared to a remora on my back, you're golden.
And what about all those old-school instructors still preaching the quarter-turn gospel?
Trust your training agency. And they all say, the quarter turn is history.
Any final thoughts before you glide back to your reef patrol, Regis?
Open those tanks yourself, or check them personally at least, or supervise it directly. Don't rely on anyone else with your life support equipment.
Well, folks, that's our show for today. Speaking of quarter turns, this episode ran smoother compared to a friend electric eel who only runs at quarter power because he forgot to fully open the battery valve. Next week, we're exploring why groupers make terrible underwater tour guides. Apparently, they get too wrapped up in their own bubble. Until then, remember that you're not a fish, no matter how much you try to blend in. This is Jack, your favorite striped host, signing off from Talk to the Fish, where our guests are always wet and our jokes are always underwater.
Forget all the troubles and blues. Dive into the blue. Oh yes, talk to the fish.